Hi there, it's Kevin with Baldur Games here with another just kind of busy day of packaging packages, unboxing product, packaging packages for all of the orders we've got in. So I thought I might as well drag you nerds along and go through a day of shipping off packages and talk about what's been selling, kind of talk about the overall market and some surprises I still have with Wizard of the Coast. So all of these boxes here are, I think the majority of this here is back orders of Baldur's Gate that is being released now for, I believe it's $75 a booster box for the draft boosters for Baldur Gates, which I still think is a steal of a deal. But this is like the 10th dump that Wizards has done with Baldur's Gate. And that is concerning of just how much product existed in that 2022-2023 time period. The Wizards of the Coast still seems to have endless supply. The other product that I remember it was like that was this sucker here, Modern Horizons. Every time that I think Modern Horizons is done, there's like another release of it where Wizards of the Coast, I think Wizards of the Coast has pulled a fast one on distributors too. They said, oh, this is the last time you're gonna be able to order it. This is the last time you're gonna be able to order it. And I mean, just for years now, Modern Horizons 2, it's 2 years old now, has been released and released and released, and it just seems like there's endless amounts of product. So even though we're in this super hot market as far as a lot of the older product being liquidated, because now comparing like Karlov Manor to some of these, you know, full price Karlov Manor versus discounted boxes of things like Wilds of Eldraine, Crimson Vow, Dominant Remastered, Midnight Hunt, those type of things. These products seem a lot more reasonable than going for the newer base products if it's not called Fallout. So anyway, we are just going to put the camera down. I'm going to start unboxing. I'm going to try to talk a little about what people have been ordering, about the ordering process, see if we can get a good glimpse of things here, of me talking and whatnot. So appreciate everyone that's stuck around with us during this chaotic time period of the first of the year. I have tried to make an effort, if you've noticed on the YouTubes, of getting some more content out. So I've been producing a lot of videos on my Rogue Market channel. And I think I'm going to get back to doing more of this style of video on this channel, because it seems that that's what people like to hear the most. It's just our kind of everyday hustle and bustle here at Baldur Games. So as far as what people are playing, Standard seems to be a lot hotter than it used to be. I have my own issues with Standard, but people are playing it. But all in all, it just seems to be like Commander is still the breadwinner for Magic and Wizards of the Coast as a whole. And I think that in 2024 they're going to continue to promote the Commander format overall there. The format's, in fact, that's the very first card they spoiled out of the Thunder Junction, was basically a Commander card. They know people are going to get excited about building with Tiny Bones, because it was one of the most iconic kind of favorite commanders that was released during the Jumpstart era. So I'm expecting more products like that, and I think the Universes Beyond this is just another knock out of the park Fallout Universes Beyond that led to a lot of sales, just led to a lot of people, you know, actually building decks, which is something that Wizards of the Coast also needs to do. They need to incentivize a lot of their older product to get eaten up and used, so they can go back to actually doing master sets and actually having their secret layers worth money and whatnot. So yeah, that is how I'm expecting it to go forward. So this is going to be Lord of the Rings, I think. Okay, nope, this is, speaking of which, this is more Fallout, which is available. I believe that Commander decks are $150. If anyone wants to get in on the action for Fallout, which is, I think, is just a steal, because the amount of reprints in the Fallout is actually phenomenal. I was very impressed. I played the Mothman right out of the box. One of my customers bought the Mothman and wanted me to play it for Commander Night. I don't know why they didn't want to play it. They wanted me to show them how to play it. So I actually chose the alternative Commander in there that reanimates things, and actually played it. And it was actually really, really strong right out the mix. So even like breaking these suckers down seems to be profitable on the secondary market with a lot of cards. However, I'm not sure with Universes Beyond how much they can continue to do this with this sort of power level that they're putting in them before they collapse all the cards. Like, we're still having value in things like Arcane Signets, Cultivates, those type of stuff, Rampant Growths, but if they continue to do them in every set, yeah, those are going to be pennies for cards, because they're just going to exist in levels that we haven't ever seen before in Magic the Gathering. And that's kind of the cons to when they print so much supply of these sort of Universes Beyond, is inevitably that these things are going to be broken down for singles as well. especially when it makes sense. So anyway, that is still selling. We have a lot of people buying the Fallout. Might be some Lord of the Rings commanders in there that are still, again, there's another thing that makes me quite worried, is they are still releasing Lord of the Rings, Warhammer, Doctor Who. The collector's boosters are gone, but you can still get all of the commander decks. It seems like to be an endless supply. So giving you a scope of things, I can't order Lost Caverns of Ixalan commanders anymore. I can't order Dominaria, Brothers War. Like I think they're still Wilds will Drain, but it's just because there's still supply of those left. But they don't seem to have an endless supply of those, more commander decks here. Those particular products, but they do have endless supply of the Universes Beyond. So looks like this is all going to be commander decks. I ordered this many to have that much. People wanted more Fallout commander decks in here. Apologize for getting up close to the camera. All right, let's see what's actually in this sucker. So this is going to be all, oh, this is just all Fallout. Nope, okay. Okay. Is there, weird. Okay, must be 2 shipments here because this is definitely not matching up with what is in those boxes. So yep, more Fallout. More Fallout. Fallout commanders, which is still selling so hot. And I think all of these are going to be Baldur's Gate, what I'm talking about. So, Wizards of the Coast, they, actually, hey, don't try to follow me, camera. Wizards of the Coast are doing a event around Baldur's Gate. If you haven't seen the event, they are releasing a new dungeon for people to crawl down during the Baldur's Gate. I believe it's a commander draft event that they can play around with. And as an incentive, they are selling these booster boxes to stores at a discounted rate. So right now, depending on the distributor, the best distributor I found right now is about after fees and you know, credit card processing fees from distributors and whatnot. You can get these from me for 75 bucks for the Baldur's Gate. Now, Baldur's Gate has been a set that continues to increase in price with a lot of the staples that are in there. You can still get some very, very powerful cards like the dragons, and there are other kind of hidden gems in Baldur's Gate. They continue to go up, and draft boosters are actually considered. There were some weird print runs with set boosters and draft boosters with people did the numbers. There were some mass box openers, and they concluded like to get the money cards, draft was actually better than set for some reason. And so draft boosters for a while were more expensive than set boosters. I mean, I think they were both priced the same, but now draft are under these set boosters again. So I think the route to go if you are wanting to get one last time into Baldur, I want to say one last time, but you actually never know with Wizards of the Coast. If this is going to be one last time, or they're going to pull another switcheroo and be like, we still have 1 million of these boxes we got to unload. And we'll see another event like this. As I've been quite critical in the past, at least they're doing something like a special dungeon for playing in this event. Like the last ones they've done with these kind of what I call these liquidation tournaments is like the dino-sized event from the Lost Caverns of Ixalan was just so lazy, and it was so poorly promoted. Even their promotional materials were so lame. Like I like to joke, it was like an intern that probably put it together in 2 seconds and tried to pass it off as like, okay, this is the event that we're all looking for. I mean, this is what stores should do. And it was so hilarious that stores could have done these events on their own. If they really wanted to move product, they could have easily done a dino-sized chaos draft with dead booster boxes that no one wants to open. So at least this one, they've done something. They've done like a promo, which is something I called for. So I'd like to see more promotional materials. I'd like to see more hoorah around it. I'd like to see them get their creators involved, get the Tolarian community colleges and the game nights and all those suckers actually in on this stuff, and really, really pound it to visit your local game store playing this event. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. And I think at that point, it's a win for everyone. And that's a great way to get rid of overstock product without having to go the Amazon dump route or go the lazy, like try to pressure stores to be their little mules for them and kind of get rid of their product they overprinted. So some good things coming on here down the chain with Wizards of the Coast. It does act like they're being a little less complacent. There's still a lot of complacency within Wizards of the Coast, but I'm thinking Star Wars Unlimited and Lorcana are going to force them to get their act together. So this sucker, Star Wars Unlimited, so the release of this Star Wars Unlimited broke 10,000 boxes. So from all the stores, I mean, again, in the scope of things, you're like, okay, that's not that huge, like that amount of booster boxes. But for a brand new unproven game, which, you know, 10,000 is a lot. 10,000 units, 10,000 booster boxes. And that was just like was like the one main distributor. I don't know what the other, you know, distribution lines actually were able to eat through, but that's the number I've heard. It was over 10,000 of the booster boxes from Unlimited for the Star Wars Spark of Rebellion release for it. So if you haven't played the game, I think it's quite fun. It's very similar to Magic, so it's easy for a Magic player to kind of jump in if you like the Star Wars kind of theme. That's a pretty cool concept that they've got going. Like I said, I really like it now that I know I was very critical of MetaZoo, that MetaZoo was just too much copy pasta of Magic, but the problem with MetaZoo is it didn't have an IP to support it. Whereas you take like a game like Star Wars, it makes more sense to do a game like Star Wars, so or a game like Magic to kind of fit around the IP rather than try and, like I said, reinvent the wheel. You can actually get some cool promos for playing at stores here. They have these, I can't remember what they call it, but they're full art foils for these for playing in your weekly events. And these are actually going for a pretty penny too. So it shows that there is demand on the secondary market for actual game pieces for people actually, and that's a good sign too, because one of the problems I've always had with like MetaZoo and some of these other games that have come out the gates was they didn't, you know, like you'd see sales for booster boxes and sealed product, but you would see no kind of corresponding sales with the cards that are actually used to play. And there was a very worrisome thing with Lorcana at first too, where there was a lot more sales based upon the collectible cards than there were on the cards that people were actually using to play. And now we've actually seen the tides turn with that. I still think the Lorcana is kind of in the mix between Pokemon and Magic, where you have a lot of people that just collect for collector's sake because you got those, you know, Disney fanboys, but there are also quite a few people that are actually playing the game. They've actually had some impressive numbers for tournaments. I know there's a store up in Lehigh, Utah, Game Grid up there, which is incredible management, incredible place to go play if you are in the Salt Lake area. I highly recommend making the drive down to Lehigh. It's the premier store in Utah, Game Grid. Great guys there that run it. Yeah, I used to know the owner. I used to play with them back in the day, so I can't recommend them enough. But anyway, besides that, where was I going with this? They've actually been already able to do 1Ks, like so $1,000 tournament buy-ins for Lorcana. So again, it's got some legs. We'll have to wait and see if Star Wars can kind of follow suit. There was a comment on YouTube that I 100% agree with, that, you know, Magic really doesn't have to be afraid until they get like a multiplayer format like Commander, because obviously, you know, Commander is Magic now. And that makes me kind of happy and sad. I'm glad that Magic was able to transition over to really capturing the casual and kind of the kitchen table, and actually get, like, what I think Commander did for Magic the Gathering is it actually brought kitchen table players into the store. Like, it got like casual players actually playing in a public setting. Whether it used to be the casual players would just go buy their Planeswalker decks and play at home, and then you wouldn't, you know, they maybe come to a pre-release or whatnot. But the intimidating nature of Standard, of kind of 1 versus 1 winner takes all type thing, led to a lot of those type of Magic players never really investing in the scene, and as a byproduct, never really getting into Magic as a Standard player, a Legacy, or Modern player did. Where Commander has now captured that type of person, and they are the scene for Magic the Gathering. And like I said, it's a little bit sad too, because I miss the glory years of Magic the Gathering having that really cutthroat 1 versus 1 type scene. So I agree that Lorcana and Flesh and Blood, Star Wars Unlimited, those they probably do need to somehow find a way to replicate that, and it might be hard and it might be difficult with kind of the mechanics they have. I've played Lorcana multiplayer, it's kind of wonky, and the same thing with Flesh and Blood's kind of wonky too in their multiplayer thing. However, it still is a good sign with these games that they've been able to kind of compete with the big boy and take away so much market share of, you know, people just looking for an alternative to Magic. And I explained in my other video, I think it really is because the power level of Magic cards now are so high that there's a massive jump from pre-release all the way to, you know, you play in your pre-release and then you're expected to, what, get into Standard? Where Standard now has Legacy-powered cards. Why I say Legacy-powered cards, look how many cards are playable right now from Standard in the Legacy format. That was the whole point of Modern Horizons 2, was so they could print cards that were powerful enough in Modern, so they didn't have to ruin Standard. And yet they've, you know, ruined Standard with things like Kumena and Tasha, the Merfolk one that sees Legacy play. I mean, you have Monster Swifter back in Standard. Like, all these incredibly powerful cards right now exist in the Standard format. I'd even go as far to say that Standard right now in its current form is as powerful as modern was when it was released. I mean, without the fetch lens, the fetch lens and lightning bolt put it on a different level. But if you take out the power level like fetch lens and lightning bolt, you have a counterspell that's just as good in standard right now as is good in modern. You have, you know, card draws that are just as good. You have just really, really high powered creatures that like we have the best creatures that ever existed in Magic the Gathering right now, and some of the best removal spells too. So anyway, it's enough talking about Magic. I'm gonna this is Baldur's Gate here. Let's see if there's anything interesting in this, and then I'll kind of talk about a few things that people have been ordering and what you can order too that are definitely available. Typically, like I show, like we keep in the Dragon Shield in stock. I try to keep in Dex binders because I try to get people kind of gravitating towards buying like Dex binders and Dragon Shields. I think they're the best of their class here. So in this one, there's Mystery Convention boosters, which had a price increase. Warhammer, which can still be had for around 150, or 160. We have people buying Clue editions. Martian Machine Draft. That one's pretty nifty. And yeah, why is there some Yu-Gi-Oh in here? I think that is a misorder. I'll have to see why there's some Yu-Gi-Oh if it matches like another product number. But anyway, that is disappointing. There's, distributors, not their fault. I know that they have a lot of stuff going on too. If anyone wants some Yu-Gi-Oh, let me know if you are patient to order this and I just forgot if this is what you put in for. But man, I don't remember ordering this garbage. I try not to keep in Yu-Gi-Oh because it's the most, like right now Yu-Gi-Oh is just terrible with like something that releases being way under distributor price a week later. So yep, we got see my ugly head here. We got mystery boxes in here, and yeah, I honestly think these are supposed to be Martian Machines. It was supposed to be a case of Martian Machines, and somehow it got moved over to Yu-Gi-Oh. So I'm going to look through that and see what happened. The joys of running a game store. So like I said, this is not something I want here at the store. So a couple other things too. Like it's not just limited to Dex binders. Got some Mulchuro binders in, things like that that are definitely available. If you want to purchase them directly from me, you can definitely join our Patreon and get in on the action. I think we have a good thing going here. With the more people that join, the more products we can start holding, and yeah. Anyway, that's enough plug for today. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.